ni raw, mi upenda raw.
Okay. Wangari?
So my point in this is this, yeah.
Ushauliza Wangari ujue
If
kama
we look
utaikula
at
raw.
CAC tukiongea
Wewe
ukweli,
ndio
Kweli, endelea Diz.
tukiangalia huyo CAC, tukisema ukweli alikuwa anasema facts. But there was no context on how he was relaying the facts. There was no emotion on how he was relaying the facts.
It was
You
impulsive.
can't come and tell a community No, it was not impulsive. It was well.
Intentional,
Jamaa alikuwa anafanya
logical,
research zake fiti.
big time.
Yeah, it was very intentional. You can't come and tell a community that, you know what, you need to go back to something that traumatizes you people, because that is what kept you in order. You know, because you are forgetting the fact that when we enter into the criminal side, that blacks are now more criminal, it is because it is per the system. Like, per the system, if you are a black person and you don't want to be criminal, then you have to kiss ass. You have to be the house nigger.
Okay.
You know, now you are having people wenye wako like, me, I don't want to be a house nigger. Because being a house nigger, nimeambiwa venye what you people did to us. Then they decide to retaliate. Them retaliating, when you compare that retaliation to the system, it is illegal. Having a voice according to the system is illegal. Bro, before freedom of speech was passed, there was a time even women were not allowed to vote.
Or
Can you
drive a
imagine
car.
you go tell women, hey, those days when women were not allowed to vote, we were choosing better leaders. Bro, it might be a fact based on, you know, like the data and meaning. It might be a fact. But it is not emotionally correct.
Does it need to be emotionally correct?
It is not emotionally.
But this is why I have a question, man.
It has to be. That is what
Kidogo Dizo.
at
You see, when you say that those were not facts, yet there was something that were existing.
No,
I think.
I've said they were facts.
Oh, they were facts.
Yeah, they were facts.
Oh, because
niliangalia hizo vitu zote alikuwa anasema, when you go to Google and research them, bro, he's giving data based on yani researches, manze.
So today you are a feminist.
Alikuwa anaenda tu huko kuaje.
He is a feminist.
No. Again, you're not getting me. I am saying this. You see, what he was saying is like right now, if I go and tell women, you know what, when women were not voting, we used to choose better leaders than when women started voting. We are now not choosing better leaders.
Tunachagua ndonye.
Can I ask a question? Can you give us an example where, like, yes, okay, can you give us the reason why I say I believe women voted might actually have made it better, because it was one spectrum.
Karembo, wait. I wasn't saying it is true.
No, you said it is a fact. No, you're saying it's a fact. It was better.
Again,
Facts
I'm
are
giving
consensus.
guys.
Okay.
No, I'm giving examples.
You've said it was a fact.
You said it's a fact. It was better when women were not voting. Yet to date, and there is wait. Okay.
Let me
okay, is it a fact or is it your opinion?
Based, ngoja Karembo. I don't even know what about. Okay. Let me use another thing. Babies are more smarter than adults. It is a fact. Now, do you want to challenge that also? Or, as in, I'm giving examples. I haven't given any opinion. I'm not sure about the voting thing.
Then it's an opinion.
I'm giving an extreme example based on CAC.
So it's an opinion.
It is not even my opinion.
It is an opinionated
So which
example.
is it? Is it an opinion? Is it a fact? Or it's just hulabaloo?
It is an example. It is not. It is just an example. It's like I can say
example, okay, and you don't know which is which.
Toman,
help me.
Karembo drunk.
No, I'm not. I'm
Apewe maji.
very sober. I am not.
Jerry kwa Tom and Jerry.
Now
Jerry
when
kwa
you
Tom
say
and
about
Jerry,
being
wait,
drunk, now that
Jerry
can
kwa
be a
Tom and
fact or an
Jerry
opinion.
was way smarter. Jerry kwa Tom and Jerry was way smarter than Tom.
That's your
I
opinion.
can say that is a fact.
It
It
could
is
be
an
a,
example I'm
it
giving.
could be an
I even don't
opinion.
know anything about Tom and Jerry.
So which is
I
which?
know
Is it an
nothing about
opinion?
Tom
Is it
and
a
Jerry.
fact?
No. Hey, I'm just trying to explain how
So it's your
how you can
opinion
relay your
according to
facts
how
and
you
emotions.
have
I don't know those
experienced Tom and Jerry. Okay.
What? Okay, let me go back to
Wewe unahemeshwa bro. Lazima leo
chenye
unahemeshwa.
tunasema ni
Basi ingizeni guest kwenye conversation.
naemeshwa bado. Eh?
Okay, just gather your thoughts. Wacha tusikie Kare venye atasema.
Wacha nirudi kwa kaka.
Okay, go back to kaka.
Mimi this what I'd say. When you are talking to people, when you can't go take facts to people, that's what I started with. Facts don't move people. Mimi ukuja uniambie cigarette kills. You can even write it on the packet. It won't move me
Utavuta tu.
until someone in my family dies out of cigarette. If someone in my family dies out of cigarette, then I'll be like, shit, cigarette does kill. Unaona? So when you're going to, if let's say you have a massive crowd that you are reaching out to. If you have a massive out to, you have to combine facts and emotions. You have to do your research and get your facts right. And then use your emotions, use your emotional intelligence to relay those facts. Like when you go tell like blacks, you people there was less crime when you were slaves than when you are free. Find an emotional approach to speak to these people. An emotional approach that can touch them. Unaweza enda hata uwaambie, right now we are having a lot of our brothers and sisters being locked up, enter into their victimhood. Right now, even being a black person, you can't drive, you can't do this, you can't do this. Utaenda jela. Because the system imewekwa hivi na hivi, like as in uwaeke kwa emotional yako, and then ndio uwalete. Ukienda ile side ya system ya slavery, there was no stories are criminal. Then now you entice a debate. Mtu akuja akwambie ukisema hivyo what the whites were doing that was criminal. Then mtu akuja akwambie according to the legal system at that moment it wasn't criminal till when it was passed that slavery is not legal. It is not a human, it is not a humanity thing. Then it was abolished. Unaona, like it now becomes a state of we are not fighting for who's right and who's wrong. We are just, you state your fact and then you give me an emotional point of view. Me, I look at it and I'm like, then that fact is not right. You think blacks were less criminals when they were slaves, but you're not considering the fact that the moment they stopped being slaves, they were not given an opportunity or an efficient way to enter into the society. So anything about them, still the rules made them look like slaves. Blacks still suffered. Unaona, so in the sense of right now, if a black hata anaweza fanya kitu, atashikwa ingizwe ndani, maybe hata si kitu kubwa, atashikwa ingizwe ndani. And then now, Pia, you're not considering the fact that during slavery, the dynamics of man and woman in slave was really, really crushed. If you people come with that sense of a man and woman need to coexist, that is okay. What do these people do? They take the man and rape the man in front of everyone.
The man or the woman?
Showing the woman, this man can't protect you. The woman, they did even worse for the woman. They would take the woman and turn her into a yani yeye kazi yake ilikuwa kuzaa, azae anyonyeshe, angenyonyesha hadi watoto si wake. You do that to a woman. Huyu ni mwanamke mwenyewe, according to hawa watu, this woman is sacred. Or if I use according to our African culture, the woman is sacred. It is not the man who's sacred, it is the woman who's sacred. That's why the man protects the woman. So if we imagine if that's the case,
kidogo tu. You see, what I'm seeing you're trying to do is trying to say that the woman is a victim of her choices, but me, I'm very sure Wangari has something different to say, because you see, kidogo tu Dizo.
I'm not saying that.
Kidogo tu. 1 minute.
What Wangari has to say.
1 minute, because hapa kuna mtu anachukua hiyo kitu kama strength. Am I wrong, Wangari?
No, what pisses me off about
just 1 minute, Dizo. 1 minute, Dizo. Dizo, dakika moja.
What pisses me off about this whole conversation is that we are reducing very heavy systemic injustices to just opinions. Racism is not just an opinion. We are fucked the way we are Africa today because of racism. It's not.
No,
you just can't say
again. Me, according to me,
1 minute, Dizo. 1 minute. 1 minute, Dizo.
I mean, it is not a fact.
Dakika moja.
Let's
continue, Wangari.
So back to what I was saying, yeah? We are reducing very heavy systemic placements.
So by comment, and the point.
Can you hear Wangari?
Just 1 minute, Dizo. 1 minute. What's Wangari land?
Dizo, kindly finish.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mnanisikia?
Can you hear Wangari?
Just finish.
Sisikii mtu akiongea.
So you can't hear Wangari.
Mnanisikia?
Okay, wacha niseme chenye nasema then ni mute, then mwenye atasema nini. So chenye nilikuwa nasema ni hivi, in the nini ya Kak, as I said, niliona story yake and I followed it up. Hiyo story ya Kak, like as in, if we are talking about facts and emotions, and I really tried to sell this. Adi Rafi amenisaidia mahali maybe tu haikulana. Tunaweza taka sana kusema hii ni fact. Tunaweza taka sana hiyo. But right now we are realizing a fact is not a universal truth. It is just an agenda that is pushed. If you come and tell me this is white, maybe in our language we never used to call it white. So now I have to say it is a fact that this is white. What of if I don't know what white is? Haya, tuende kwa hii side nyingine, side ya slavery. Mimi, I'm not even from, I've checked my lineage. No one from my family was a slave. To be honest, I really don't have the context.
So that would mean it's more of an opinion of you.
About slavery.
Yeah, you can only talk from it because it's an opinion.
If we are talking about slavery, it will come out as an opinion. I'll be like, you know what? I really know nothing about slavery.
So you're looking at it from a point of family, not a global issue.
I'm looking at it from a point of what I relate with.
Okay, let me ask you this, Dizo. Do we have slavery here in Kenya?
Yes.
Okay, so if you know that there is slavery, what are the impacts of slavery, especially what you know, especially in Kenya? Because I don't even want to go to make it a global issues. Let's talk of slavery here in Kenya. What are the impacts that you've seen that you've done?
So the slavery in Kenya, it has both positive and negative.
Which are?
Let me give you the example that I know about the slavery in Kenya. A very cliche example. House helps. you know, you'll go utaenda Ocha uambiwe huyu chukua tafadhali, hakuna kitu anafanya huku, mchukue tu, wacha aende akakufanyie anything, sisi tutashukuru. That is slavery.
So is that happening literal in a close proximity for you?
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
So,
me, I'm speaking from how I've grown up. How I've grown up.
So somebody
like
comes to your households. Yes, the households come to your households. From a point of a family is looking at poverty in a place of watching their kuja from that end. So that's slavery. Are you paying their wages? Are you paying them?
But nyi watu wawili mnaongeleleana according to...
No, I'm talking to Dizzo's opinion.
No, you cannot talk about Dizzo's opinion.
Okay, were you listening to what I asked him so that we get where we are? Because he said he cannot relate to him, he has not experienced
the value they are giving.
Yes, yeah, amesema haizi understand your slavery Kirk was talking about.
Ndio nimesema aje.
Wacha nimalize na nikamuuliza in Kenya, because now I've brought it back home. Has he seen slavery? Akasema yes. Secondly, kamuuliza, I give examples, akasema yeye kwao amesikia a family would be like, chukweni huyu, hakuna kitu anafanya nyumbani, aende ajisaidie from that. Yeah, ameona. So we are talking from a POV of Dizzo.
What's his POV?
Si ndio yeye anatuambia that kwao mtu alikuwa anatumwa kwao akuja jisaidie. That's the slavery he knows.
Wacha aseme.
Na venye nilisema again, I am not giving a fact about slavery. The way I said I can't talk about slavery, to be honest, I don't have the capacity to talk about slavery because my family has never been a fact. Then my family has been owning slaves. You know.
So you guys
now,
used not to
if
pay.
I go with that side. Now hapo ndo mali nakuleta. Mimi ningeona shughuli ya watu wanafanya. Nilibambika sana venye kukae kwa minimal wage. Ningeona shughuli zenye hao watu wanafanya. Mtu anafanya shughuli mingi. Alafu unasikia sijui end month mamake ama babake ama familia yao ndio imetumiwa 3K. Huyu mtu mnaishi naye si amepatiwa chakula, amepatiwa kila kitu. And you're like, come on. 3K na shughuli zote huyu mtu amefanya. Unaona, na ukicompare na slavery ile ya majuu, si ati hawako wanalipwa. They were not working for free, they were eating. Working for hata tukulishi. They were eating, they had a place to, you are paying that by labor. So there is a form of payment. You know, it's just that payment doesn't fit the productivity or nitaita outcome ama nini,
output.
The output that you put in.
So Dizzo,
from my end, hiyo ndo nitaita slavery.
Yes, and now Dizzo, now the reason as to why you don't want to look at it from a point of where Kirk is coming from, you're not any different from when Kirk was talking about slavery in that aspect. Because one, the kind of people who would come and work at your place, you guys were dehumanizing them. Because to the fact that you cannot say just because walikuwa nakula in exchange of their labor, that was a proper exchange.
Okay, Karembo,
wait, ngoja, let me finish. Na ndio nimesema
I just have one question.
Haujanielewa.
Kidogo
right
Dizzo.
now you are addressing
Dizzo,
something that
Dizzo, 1 minute.
No,
I'm
getting it from what you say.
Dizzo and Karembo, just 1 minute.
No, you are addressing something
Skiza,
I haven't talked
Dizzo,
about.
kidogo tu 1 minute.
Kwani what did
1
you
minute.
talk about?
Karembo and Dizzo, just subirini 1 minute.
You know, now this is coming from a place of his understanding of slavery is coming from a place
just chill.
of okay.
Just chill.
1 minute.
And Dizzo, chill. You see, you hijacked this conversation from Wangare's introduction. Na mimi nataka turudi hapo.
So we give Wangari the chance.
Because you see, we directed this conversation in a very tangent way. Wewe unafikiria hivyo, Dizzo anafikiria hivyo. But hujasikia kenye Wangari anafikiria. So we are analyzing a situation that we've not even had.
No, you see,
1
that's
minute.
Jakarta, and you see,
Just
he's the one who took it away from
1
Wangari.
minute.
Kidogo.
Wangari is here.
Wangari. Umenyamaza sana.
You know, I'm going to be very honest about how I'm feeling at the moment. I feel so disappointed because we can't afford to sit here as Africans and minimize very key or very nizite aje sasa very heavy truths that are just in the recent past. Unajua like kupata independence 1963, that's so recent. That's so recent. But that's around the same time my mom was born. That's so recent, my guy. So recent. Very recent. It's more than recent. So tunaka hapa, we are sympathizing with a white supremacist, a racist guy, a bigoted guy, a misogynist, because we want to call racism opinions. Kwangu inaniumiza sana kwa sababu racism ni opinion. Anyway, so I don't want to say a lot because tutashinda hapa.
No, tunataka kushinda hapa.
You won't like it. Let me start somewhere. When I was introducing this topic, I was talking about emotions that we shy away from. But kuna kitu Dizo ameongelea, and I want to talk about it. He doesn't have the range to talk about racism, and because personally hajai experience. Now, there are 3 types of empathy. There's cognitive empathy where...
Have you experienced racism?
Yes, I have.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, in Kenya.
Really?
Yes.
In what
From
sense?
a white person. In a national park. So
In Kenya?
Day, yes.
God damn.
Yes. And that's like that was light. That
Michael,
was
don't be
light
condescending.
Ice. That was light ice. Hiyo ni Matusi and Co. So I'm imagining if someone hates my skin color to this level, that is why picnics existed, because black people were being killed.
And that nigga is in Kenya.
That person, yes, they came here
White
to
guy.
view. A white person came here to view. We were all in national park. But yeah, story for another day. So let's talk about, there's cognitive empathy, there's attentive empathy, and there's, compassionate empathy. Cognitive empathy is when you have not directly experienced your kitu, but your common sense leads to tell you that this is something you need to empathize on. Attentive empathy is whereby where mwenyewe you've been there, you've been through the heat, so you understand what exactly is going on. Compassionate empathy is whereby you decide, whether it's cognitive or attentive, you decide to take the extra step and help this person. Now, back to Chalikak, because sasa huko ndo tulifika. There are only 2 people I'm sympathizing in the whole scenario. The 2 daughters. At no single point in this lifetime would I endorse for a child to see their parent dying in such a gruesome way.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Who is Chalikak?
Chalikak is a political commentator from the US.
What happened?
Pew pew.
God damn.
Yeah.
You're short.
Yeah. There are even videos about it.
Where?
On X. Go watch. So anyways, that aside. So
Hurumia bibi
the only
pia.
siwezi mhurumia.
Mbona?
She knew the guy is a misogynist. She has a brain. She has brain processing capacity. Because according to the husband, we black women cannot process.
Ladies are
So-
blameless. Feminists believe that.
No, not ladies are not blameless. Just because we call out misogyny does not mean 2 truths can exist at the same time. We love living in a parallel type of world whereby if you're not Christian, you're Muslim, and that is the other realities hapa katikati that can coexist at the same time. That aside, the only 2 people I empathize and sympathize with is the 2 daughters. No one deserves to see their father killed in such a gruesome way.
And the wife.
I don't sympathize with the wife. Story for another day. My only takeaway from this whole issue is that I really don't care whether he dies, whether he's buried or not. Because, I mean, when he was alive, he never cared about people of my skin color. Why would I extend empathy towards
I miss
himself?
Kirk.
Secondly, he lived,
But
the Bible says
Kidogo
in
tu.
Matthew.
I miss the
Before you
racism.
continue there on Matthew,
Yeah?
you said you don't care about how he died.
Yeah. He said empathy is a social construct. So I'm just honoring wishes of the dead.
Boo.
So yeah, I will not empathize with you. I don't even care on a good day. I will be very apathetic towards the whole news. What is pissing me off about this scenario is that Africans are busy minimizing
Empathizing.
serious, they can empathize for but minimizing serious conversations, colonialism, racism, bigotry, misogyny, colorism, and all other negative isms to just opinions. They are not opinions. There's a difference between a political opinion and and political violence. Black people systemically have been facing violence for over 400 years, putting us in places whereby we have to fight for our rights. We have to fight for everything. In the whole structural look of things, white people at the top, then we have people of color, that is Asians and Latinas and whatever, and then we are the rock bottom. In fact, sir, when it comes to rock bottom, we now have Black Americans who think they are above us. Then we have us as Africans as the rock bottom, according to hierarchical structuring. So we are reducing very serious conversations, and that is why I kind of zoned off from the whole conversation, because we are reducing very serious conversations. That is the reason why we have pathetic political systems. That is the reason why we have racism. That is why people are bleaching left, right, and center, because all things rise and fall on colonialism. Some of us cannot speak our mother tongues.
Wacha kuni point.
Yeah.
Where?
I also can't fluently speak Kikuyu, but anyways, some of us can speak. Hatuwezi ongea lugha zetu za mama. Why? Because someone somewhere sat and thought their language is superior than the rest of us. And now we want to call racism and bigotry as opinions. No.
They are opinions.
I refuse.
But I have a question.
They are not. That is political. I refuse to sit and listen. And I'm sorry, maybe to people who wanted me to changia. That is why I've not been in a position to talk about it, because it hits home. It really hits home.
It actually should.
It should hit home.
It should hit home, because you see, we are talking about a very important topic today.
True.
Facts versus feelings.
Yeah.
It should hit home. Some of these topics,
Guys,
should actually hit home, because you see, kidogo tu Rafi, by the time you're having a conversation, me and you, must have hit home.
Yeah.
Otherwise, beyond that, then we'll just be pretending that we are concerned, but we are not really concerned, right?
True.
Look at NGOs. Wanataka kusolve world hunger, but then the 5-star hotels eating 5 courses meals, eh? It means that it does not really hit home, but it's just a job, right?
It's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask a question?
Kidogo tu Mama Kanisa. 1 minute. Because you see, when you're talking about that, and I'm looking at what Dizo is saying, because you and Dizo actually are on the same tangent, same directory. The only difference is you are on different wavelengths.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not opposing what Dizo said.
No, it's not even about opposing.
No, listen. Let me just get one thing clear. Dizo said someone in Africa and someone in America cannot have the same perspective on a similar topic. Sana when it hits home in the US. For example, gun violence. Over here, we are talking about femicide because it's a reality in this country. We cannot talk about gun violence because it is not a reality in this country.
It is.
It's a reality in Congo.
It is not Congo. I'm going to talk about Kenya, and this is actually something very, very particular, because didn't we not see a priest get murdered in tort?
He touched
and
kids.
We know for a fact that ethnic groups are being given guns just for their own.
But there's a difference. No, there's a difference between.
You know that we cannot talk of gun violence in the same aspect as the Americans do it. But here in Kenya, we have gun violence, actually.
But then we have gun violence, but it is not gun violence. It is state-funded violence. There's a difference.
Is it any different from
State-funded
what?
gun
Because don't
violence.
forget,
It's
for
very
them,
different.
it's an amendment, right?
Yeah.
That they actually
So that is a legal
uphold
backing.
to. Yes.
But
And
here-
either way, even if we say it's a government-funded whatever, Bado, whatever kind of flowers you're gonna spout.
But the difference
it
comes in
going
here.
to be.
Yes, I do get where you're coming from. But
They are being funded
the
either way.
yes.
Maybe I
but-
think
but
you guys are talking about the same thing, but
Can I please get my point home?
Fikisha, sorry.
Kindly. My issue is tunaita, and I will stress on this point, tunaita racism opinion. Actually, there's a difference between a political opinion and political violence.
Let's go back to your
There's a
racism.
huge difference between. I don't know, probably I'm the one who is talking about this from a point of really being cognitively empathetic, and the fact that maybe I've seen the after effects of colonization directly from my grandparents. But to every African, certainly, kama wewe ni Mwafrika, whether you light skin, whether wewe ni mzungu, because we also have white Africans.
Why are you pointing me?
I'm not pointing you.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you're African...
Stop being racist.
Career,
I'm not
I want
racist.
to take you somewhere, especially with that racism na pia slavery.
Can I finish? Wait.
Kidogo tu wacha umalize. And then this will
We
go
cannot
after you.
afford to minimize. You know, when you call these things opinions, we are minimizing the impact. You are just limiting it to huyu anafikiria hivyo. And you're forgetting that someone somewhere sat down and hated black people to an extent whereby they came here, demonized us for who we are. And in case you've never read, that was where FGM came from.
It is his opinion.
And that opinion has funded violence for over 400 years. So at what point do we stop calling it an opinion and calling it violence?
We need to stop being
my
victims.
question is... No, I'm just going to clock out.
Okay.
No, it's all
don't
good.
clock out.
Don't
And
clock
Dizo
out,
is going to
'cause
come into it.
sometimes we
And
challenge
wacha
each
nise
other,
maybe.
like-
Let me ask you this one, Gary, and I need you to ask in this aspect. Okay. So when we talk about racism, na tukiongea about slavery, we only target to black people, right? But my question is, how far do we go back about racism? Because for me, we can even use the Bible. We have slaves used to exist back to all the way back to early in the first books of the Bible.
May I have a question before you go to slavery? Because we are using the Bible.
Racism is taught. That's one thing.
Ndio nasemaje? Before we go back to the Bible.
Naweza ongea
Kidogo Dizo.
manze.
If you're going back to the Bible, tulitoka kwa Adam and Eve. Racism ilitoka wapi? And then Dizo continue. Sorry.
You know, Adam and Eve, they're the first parents. But me, I'm talking of racism.
Thank
And I said it. Racism is taught.
Now-
Let's not forget, before you, Dizo, you answer, there's something else I want to... Ngoja, when the pyramids were being made, who are being racist? Was it the Egyptians? Was it the white people? Who were their slaves at the time? Dizo mwenye ametoka kutuambia that they're in a community where they openly give out people to go work for them for the minimum wage, no matter the fact that it is. As I said, these are aspects that people enforce by themselves. Be it's a community. Fact, to make even interesting enough, this is within an African community that this is happening. We can even see it. It's everywhere. Gun violence is not just only in the United States. We have to be intentional about taking care about the gun violence. I would say this for a fact. The reason Kwanza I talked about gun violence for me, it's very...
May I don't even have a gun.
I know it's okay. I'm just talking to everybody who's listening.
Karembo, can I talk, man?
Kidogo
Okay,
tu.
sir, but Dizo, you can talk.
Okay. Me I was to reply to Nani akisema venye, and I do understand your part and I explained it hata tukianza that facts na emotions, utakuja useme facts, but if you don't attach emotions to those facts, they won't have an impact. The facts will just be facts. But the moment it touches home, the moment it gets emotional, then that fact has an impact. Now, I'm going to repeat what I said. For me, racism is an opinion. It doesn't mean that topic has been watered down. It just means me I acknowledge, and I know there are people who are on my side that acknowledge the same. That is what me have that is my environment. Me, I've never been racially abused. I have never, and I've traveled. Now, nikikuja nikwambia, ukuja uniulize, have you ever been called nigger? Yeah, I've been called nigger, but I didn't feel it like a racially abuse.
Nigga.
I was like, if I feel that is what, that is your capacity of expression, then that is you. I'm not going to sit here and be a victim about, hey, why are you calling me a nigger? No, bruh, I have no problem with that shit. So me, I've never been racially abused, to be honest with you.
Nigga.
But it doesn't mean I am the standard of the conversation. Wangari, on your end, you have been racially abused. You can make the topic serious. It doesn't mean it's supposed to be serious for everyone. You know, and it is okay. Like, let me use another one. A rich kid will say something that might be very insulting to a poor kid. But it's not that the rich kid wanted to piss off the poor kid. They were just saying what they relate with. So there's no standard on how things are supposed to be. There's this joke, nikimalizia, there's this joke flani, mabeshte wawili, one is from a poor background, the other is from a rich background. It's a kameme. So kuna mmoja mwenye tumbo yake inashinda ikinguruma manze, juu ya njaa. So beshte yake from the guy from a poor background ndo tumbo yake inashinda ikinguruma. Juu amezoea yenyewe mwanamume akulagi lunch. Sisi tunagonga asubuhi mpaka jioni ama ni maybe one meal. Hiyo ndo chenye amezoea. So hiyo tumbo yake kunguruma ni kitu amezoea. But now this rich kid anakuja anamwambia, "Whoa, how did you do that? Hebu do it again." Jamaa anashangaa, "What do you mean?" Akitulia hivi senye bado anashangaa tumbo yake tena inanguruma. Rich kid anakuwa excited. How the fuck did you do that? As in, unafanya aje tumbo yako ifanye hivyo? Do you know that's an ability? Because this rich kid doesn't know about sijui kukua hungry. What they know is abundance of food. So hakuna time yao tumbo inanguruma venye hiyo ngu yako inanguruma. Haimaanishi yeye water down the mere fact that you are struggling to get food. They have just expressed what they have been exposed to. It doesn't make them any lesser or make them any stronger. It's the same when you go to resilience. Resilience. Poor people are more resilient than rich people. Because for rich people, you have tools to help you navigate. But for poor people, you are the tool to navigate. So when you come and tell me, hey, you know what? The country is very, very bad right now. Our economy is bad. And me, I'm from a place where I'm seeing it is not bad. Like I'm even about to buy me a new car, 0 mileage. So, is it, when I say the country is not bad, is it that I'm diluting a serious situation, or am I expressing my reality? And then you on the other side, when you're becoming a victim or you're expressing your reality. I mean, the factor here is
This are you speaking?
mnanisikia?
Kuna break, tunakusikia. Are you working or something?
Baba nani?
Guys, mnanisikiza?
Una break, yeah. Anyway,
you see, you've lost Dizzo and he was going on something.
Yeah, he's really going on something, and there's something I want to add before you get into it. And there's something by then you may notice.
We can hear you, Dizzo. Unsikia Dizzo?
Hatumski.
Buy earphones.
Hatumski.
Buy headphones.
Singekuwa msikia.
Buy headphones.
Nakusikia but sisikii Dizzo.
And I'm telling you, can hear me because
I can
I'm
hear you
to
here. Okay. Sisikii Dizzo here.
Where are the headphones?
Tunakwambia I can hear you from here.
Dizzo, I will speak.
Is Dizzo speaking?
I think we've just lost Dizzo in...
Anyway, so before Dizzo regulate his side, kuna kitu by the interesting nimekam kukumbuka. You know, ubaya tukianza kutalk about racism na slavery.
I can hear you, Dizzo. I don't know why you can't hear us.
Sisi hatumsikii. Unamsikia? We can't hear him. Baiko, we can't hear him.
Bro, fix your connection then. Tuambie. You're saying something.
Si atumski.
See.
So what I'm saying is this, and it's very interesting history, racism na slavery. And the reason I think we also need to watch some of these movies that we get to see. We have a movie like Django Unchained. Django ndio afike pale alikuwa ndio kwa free man. He really had to go through the slavery to a point where he got a person who bought him off na kama member ya his freedom. Okay? Secondly, how would you consider when we talk about the Second World War?
Tunakusikia but tunakusikia.
That's racism.
Why
do we always assume that racism only happens to black people? That was racism of Jews against Germans. And then pia mtu ali side on their end. And also the same time, Jews were made slaves for the Germans. Because walikuwa nafanya, those who look to be fit enough wanna make you into slaves to do some hard labor. And the others were put into the, what were they calling them? Izo chambers za kuwachoma. You know? And let me say this. Guys, go watch. There's this movie called A Boy in Stripped Pajamas. This was the most interesting thing. So these are two kids. One is coming from the German side, and then there's this other boy who was in stripped pajamas that was a Jew. But they didn't understand what slavery and racism is all about or what was happening around them. They are children, so they were just enjoying. And let me tell you, there was a big barrier of barbed wires. But, okay. What does that have to do with?
I'm just asking.
I am liberal. I can watch anything
It's
and
okay.
everything. Yes.
From which country mostly?
No, I don't have any specification. I can watch anything.
Are you
and everything.
multilingual?
Yes, I am.
You can speak Chinese?
No.
Who?
By multilingual, which languages are we talking about?
I don't
Are you
know. When do we say
specific
you're
on?
multilingual?
No, I can talk Kiswahili. I can listen to Kikamba. I know Swahili. I know
only
English.
African.
So why are you calling it African? There are people who still speak Swahili and they are in the farthest corners of this world.
But they are from?
No, it doesn't have to be that. Who said languages have to be with boundaries?
But they have to be with
No,
the
Chinese
boundaries.
currently right now have
Anyway.
even better Swahili than we do.
Mimi niko nauliza hii swali. Because we look at movies from the US. Nazina relate na sisi sana.
Who's we?
Me.
Apocalypto is US.
I'm talking about
No,
me.
I'm asking Apocalypto is US.
Who directed Apocalypse?
I might
Mel
not know.
Gibson.
It's Mel Gibson.
Okay.
It's from the US.
Now, that is coming from the US. He also did the Passion of Christ.
From the US.
So Passion of Christ, was it based on the US aspect or was it based according to the archaeological evidence of Jesus Christ's existence?
Na ndio naenda hapo. It's Mel Gibson.
Okay.
It's from the
He's
US.
a director, yes.
It's from the US.
Yes. We still also have a Kenyan who has done Rafiki, which was mostly broadcasted in the America. And she's Kenyan.
But I don't
So
know that
what does
movie.
this have to do with being bilingual or boundary?
They used concept.
Yeah.
Unajua wewe ndio umeniambia mambo ya Apocalypto. Hata sikuwa
No,
nimeongea
ndio
about
nauliza.
Apocalypto.
So like Rafiki, it was done by a Kenyan. So what does
Me, I don't
boundaries
even
have to
know
do
about
with?
Rafiki.
Now, you see, your limitation of what you have exposed yourself to.
No, I'm just
Is that-
actually asking questions according to what you've told me.
You didn't make me finish because I was trying to
But
explain. No, you didn't
You are
let
the one
me
who are telling me
finish.
how will I know you're finished.
No, but you see, you're now taking me to the western part because that is what you're exposed to. But you're not making me land my point on racism and slavery. But you want to get your
No,
facts
land
out of by being multilingual. But I'm asking, what does multilingual have to do with slavery and racism?
Me, I just asked, are you multilingual?
Yes, I said I am.
Na
Languages.
nikakuuliza,
Linguistic means you know more than one language. That is
So
what
how
is
many
being
languages do you
multilingual.
know?
I actually told you I know Kamba, I know Kikuyu, I know Kiswahili, I know English. That already makes it how many? 4.
So those are African.
And I can even do basic German. So that makes it 5.
Guten Morgen.
When it's morning.
Guten Abend.
Okay. So, okay, what does this have to do with the current
No,
topic?
no, I'm just asking.
Are you doing this to sidetrack me from the point I was making?
No, I'm actually...
No, that's what I'm asking. So what are we talking about? Don't be a douche about it.
I'm not actually being a douche. That's all.
No,
No,
it's fine. Ndio nauliza, like, so what's the point about being multilingual? So that I go back to what I was
but
talking about.
But you said you're multilingual.
So what does multilingual have to do with the point I'm currently making about slavery and racism?
Multilingual means actually you understand the points you're making.
Yes, I am. And the best thing about the current technology we have, the current technology that we have is that you can actually do a translation to everything I speak about, and it can translate it to the people real time into all the multi-languages that we have all over across the world. So what does this have to do with the current point I'm making about racism and slavery? Just tell me that. And then I can go back to my point, and then you can do all the assessment you want to do on my German. I get it. You're good with your Spanish. You're good. If you want us to look at who's better at it, we can do this. But can I get to my point? That's all I want to ask.
Get to it.
Okay, please don't interrupt.
I have actually not talked.
You did.
No.
Are you done?
Yes.
So back to the point. So when I was talking about Germans and Jews, would you call that? See, that was racism, and that was also slavery, right? Because they put these people in concentrated camps, right? To a place where now you're finding that these guys will always have an attitude towards, like a Jew will always have an attitude towards Germans, or anybody who was a sympathizer towards Germans, right? So this is a trauma that will be moved from one generation to the next. Now, I know most of the time when we talk about racism and slavery, we need to be a bit open-minded because one, we've even seen it. Even as Africans, we had slaves before. Watu wamekuwa na hizo vitu. We've seen Libya, even after all that whole collapse, wanna take Africans, wanna make slaves. We've seen how gun violence is happening all over. Collapse of governments to a point to where we are. So, mine is this. If we're going to talk about racism and slavery, let's be a bit open-minded. Because when we talk about it, let's not just put it in a box that it's only for Africans, okay? Now, the reason nasema hivi ni kwa sababu people have opinions. Na hiyo sitakata. And it's true. That is very interesting that Nani has described empathy in 3 levels. I am trying to be open-minded because one, I've also experienced racism from an African. Not once, not twice. I went to South Africa, experienced it while I was doing training for a different company that I was working from. I was in the middle of xenophobia when it was xenophobia. You remember when you guys got that person banned? I was actually in South Africa for almost 2 months at the time. We could not walk into a mall without having at least, let me say, a white person to escort us so that nobody touches us. Secondly, I have experienced racism from an Egyptian, not one, not two, as a group as Kenyans, where they even cannot believe we are learned. They even had to ask us for papers when we've gone for what we'd call an annual sales meeting. They could not believe that the kind of intellect that we have as what we are or quoted as black people. These are Africans on Africans. To a point where now, you can imagine now when you talk about slavery is mostly about dehumanizing the people who you're with. So if you get to a point where you do not like my opinion, you do not like who I am as a person, already that shows that you have an opinion or a feeling towards me. And at some point, it feels like it's part of slavery because you put me to a certain threshold so that I can satisfy something, so that I can come out from that place of feeling like I'm a person. And I will say this for a fact. One time, I think we once, in that group of, being in that mixture, just having an opinion was a crime that you'd actually be punished for it. And it happened. And it's something we all openly know, and we know for a fact. And I would say this for a fact.
Can I ask you a question, Karama?
Let me finish, kindly. Mm-hmm. I requested this earlier on.
Sorry, sir.
But if it's so pressing, just ask.
No, it's okay.
No,
finish.
It's so pressing,
okay.
Just ask.
Do you consider yourself beautiful?
What does beautiful have to do with racism and slavery?
Opinions.
Paiko. So what is your opinion about if I'm beautiful?
No, I'll just ask
No,
you.
what is your opinion?
I
I'm
don't
asking you the question back to you.
I don't even know.
So why ask the question if you don't know?
Me, I want to understand what you
So
are.
why ask a question if you don't understand it?
Because you see, you talked about something about opinions, eh? And they are very personal, right? Because it describes what you've experienced, right? Me, I don't know what you've experienced on your own.
But
For
what did
example-
I explain if you did not understand what I said?
For example, I'm going there. I'm giving even examples. I don't even know. I don't even understand
So
why people are
why
angry at
ask
me.
a question if you don't understand what I just from my own experience?
I am saying.
No. Give me a moment.
It's okay.
You've been asking rhetorical questions that you yourself don't understand.
Okay.
So, with what I'm trying, imagine this. I've tried to iterate this for you, to try to show you how close to home it was for me, and still you don't get it. And then you ask a question, yet you do not comprehend what I said.
But I'm not you.
Okay, I think at this point, I'll just leave this there.
And
We can move to what's your opinion on slavery and racism and this whole. I mean, furthermore, even this guy, you don't even know about him.
Exactly.
So now tell us, what do you understand about racism and slavery?
I don't understand anything about it.
So can we move then past it if you don't
No.
understand it?
Me, I'm actually concerned about how you understand it.
But if the way I've understood it, even given you examples and where you can relate to in terms of different kind of movies, that you yourself you want to target because it's an American.
It will take us to the point you experienced racism.
Didn't I not do that?
How?
Okay, unless you're not listening.
I wasn't.
Okay, I think you'll listen to the tips. Maybe to catch up.
Shit.
But what about you, Rafi? What do you think about when it comes to racism and slavery?
Just think like
Najua Rafi ni Mjamaican.
Okay, are you Rafi? Siwacha ajibu.
Sorry, sir.
I think maybe they are heavy topics and we might have different opinions, but at the end of the day, they are still opinions and we shouldn't judge each other based on our opinions.
This is the first time I'm hearing Rafi's voice drop.
Watch out, we bring it home because we may not really understand racism, but tribalism, we've seen it in our
experience.
So no, you've
Rafi, which
experienced
tribe are
it,
you?
right?
Nakuanga Martian.
You're Kenyan.
No, I'm Martian.
You're Martian?
Yeah.
So you speak the language of peace, eh?
Maze mi
Naweza changia Maiko.
Kabisa, bro.
Mnanisikia?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Unatusikia?
Oh, haya. Nawasikia sasa.
Go ahead,
Kuna
bro.
mahali mimi na disagree. Kuna mahali na disagree na Rafi na kuna mahali na agree na Karembo. Let me go with mahali na disagree na Rafi. There's no heavy topic here, bro. Unless you're missing the whole theme of the entire topic. There's no heavy topic. There's my side. It only becomes heavy when it's me to accept your side, or I try to convince you to accept my side. Without trying to convince each other, this topic is just,
Any other?
it can be handled, it can be managed. Venye tu kwa racism. Hiyo racism, if kama haina jina kwa Kikwenu, it is imposed. Kama haina jina kwa Kikwenu, it is imposed. Kama iko na jina kwa Kikwenu, the community is going through, you can address it. Kuje kwa sisi wote hapa hivi through tribalism. That one we can address. Na tukiangalia hiyo tribalism, kuna watu wenye watatokezea out of that tribalism na wakuwe like this that have come out of tribalism. You know, out of that and say it's P that has come out from the end of the day is not who or
Tribalism.
it is about si wote tuelewane. Sasa kama saizi kwa hii topic tumekubaliana yenyewe sisi wote we are not following the same thing. There are some people who this topic very personal. Of us who this topic we just read about it. And it is okay. We can all just share that. Na hiyo niseme, so ndo tusiekane am I wrong. You are diluting this topic. You're diluting this topic. Unafanya hii topic kuwe a serious topic to be a less serious topic. Right. This topic is serious to you. And you're also right. This topic is not serious to me. But we are all here having another serious. Now that you a serious topic, you're in serious. The same way maybe from my side, don't I want to see how a topic said us about it? Maybe I've never experienced the serious part. And say, hey, how is this touching? Then that way, no one belittles the other's opinion. It only becomes an opinion because it doesn't relate to you. The moment it relates to you, it becomes a fact. Facts only work in structures. Facts don't work in life. Facts only work in structures. Life is not linear for you to say, this is a fact. This is how you're going to go. You know, you are born, you live, and you die. That is not a fact. There are people who die in the stomach and they are born dead. You know, as in life is layered. Life is layered. You follow life based on the phase you are in, on what is relevant with you. So hatuwezi see wote tuseme ati you know what, a fact is a fact. If this is said, then this is a fact. A fact is the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. Have you been to Greenland or is it North Pole, whereby it is 24 hours daylight? Have you been to that place whereby it is 24 hours darkness? Are you going to tell them that it is a fact that the sun rises from the east and sets in the west? When you say it's only during the day that you can see brightly, you can't see brightly at night. What about the people who live maybe in the Amazons, people who live in darkness, who have mastered to see in darkness clearly? Manze, the purpose of life is evolution. Evolution doesn't know standard. Evolution only knows growth. And growth might not be comfortable for you, but it is still growth. And that is evolution. Kwa hivyo mtu anaweza kuja akwambie being a pedophile is a mental issue.